For introduction. Yeah, so I'm really happy to be here. Yeah, it's my first time in London, and yeah, today I was walking around and wow, I was impressed. Yeah, a great city, and like, I feel power on this city. Yeah, yeah, and today we'll talk about Gemma. So initially, the title of the talk was On-Device Fine-Tuned Gemma in Your Flutter app. Then I realized that there's potentially too many unfamiliar words. So if someone don't know what Gemma is, or I don't know, if someone don't know what Flutter is, well, maybe. Yeah. And I decided to change the title to be more clear. And title become a little bit long, but totally clear. Building mobile and web applications with generative AI capabilities without internet connection, money, and privacy concerns. Much more clear, yeah? Yeah, but before we started, I have self-introduction slide, but probably Josh already told almost everything about me. Yeah, I work for EPAM Systems as a chief software engineer. Like staff software engineer, chief software engineer. Every company decide to name this position different way. The next after senior. Yeah. So I'm also head of Flutter competency in our company. So I'm responsible for Flutter expertise and everything, like interviewing, internal assessments, skill matrix, everything. And when I work with customers, usually I'm playing a role of solution architect or development lead, or K developer, depends on project. So I worked on many Flutter projects with different roles, so I have big experience with it. And yeah, I'm one of organizers of Flutter Berlin community. So welcome to Berlin. I know that, yeah, some of you already were our guests. Yeah, and GDE in Flutter, Dart, and recently I became Firebase GDE too. So yeah, free technologies. Okay, let's get started. And first, let's do some training with raising hands. Please raise your hands if you are a Flutter developer. I'm expecting many hands, yeah, because we are Flutter meetup. And yeah, me, I'm speaker, I should know. And I have another question. Please raise your hand if you know what generative AI is and how it works. Yeah, and me too, yeah, of course, yeah, again. So anyway, I saw that a lot of people raise hands on second question, but I prepared a few slides to just a kind of prologue to my talk about generative AI. And today I will be kind of guide for Flutter developers into generative AI world. So do you know who is it? Dash, yeah. So today I will be your Dash guide. I have. Yeah. Yeah. After visiting Flutter and Friends in Stockholm, I've got this hat, and really love it. So I can just transform myself to Dash and back. Oh. So yeah, it will be here if someone interested to make a photo with it, please. Okay. AI. So previously, when we were talking about AI, we were talking about predictive AI. So it's AI that do data analysis and do some predictions and result of analysis. So it's kind of analyst who can do analysis and do some predictions. And now we got new direction of AI, generative AI. So that created for generating of something, like generative AI should generate. So if predictive AI is analyst, generative AI is kind of creative person who creates solutions from scratch. And now these two approaches works together. So like models like ChatGPT and Gemini just combine these two approaches and work together, predictive AI and generative AI. But yeah, if we talk about them separately, predictive AI can predict and can analyze. You can, for example, give a photo of, I don't know, something, cat, and ask, could you please tell me, is it cat or not? And AI will answer you. So it's cat with probability 95%. And generative AI can just generate for you photo of cat without any question. Yeah, but mostly we are using generative AI for generation of text. For these purposes, generative AI usually use large language models. Who knows how large language models works? Who can? Actually, there is a scheme. So model is trained on a huge amount of human generated text. And actually, model just know in which order words will be in the sentence, so the sequence. So for example, this, it's raining cats and the highest probability of the next word in such sequence will be dogs. Probability 0.9. And next word with less probability. So generative AI is not like smart. It don't speak with you. It's just tons of text on which it was learned and knows probability of the next word in the sequence. And yeah, depends on which text model was trained. You can request such text for generation. For example, if you use, I don't know, poetry for training, you can then request a model to write poem for you. For example, can you tell what will be next in the sequence? We are in Great Britain, I think you should know. To be or not to be? Yeah, you can try and ask any generative AI and answer really that is the question, because yeah, despite the fact that Shakespeare wrote it, generative AI also knows about what is the highest probability of the next word in sequence to be or not to be. I even tried to check and ask ChatGPT and Gemini to write a small poem about London. Let's take a look. Who is better poet? ChatGPT. I'm, not the best reader of poems. I will try. London hums where Thames does flow, past towers high and street aglow. History whispers future blend, a timeless tale, no final end. ChatGPT. Okay, Gemini. London fog, a misty shroud. History whispers, crowds aloud. Red buses race, the Thames flow on. Big Ben chimes, a day is born. Royal guards and markets bright, a city's soul, day and night. So I won't ask you who is better in your opinion, because it's just poetry. So everybody has own opinion. But what I wanted to say here, so depends on which text model is trained, such result it can generate. So if you train model on code, model will be able to generate code. So if you ask something like this, model can generate the next symbols that has the highest probability. Highest probability is less than 10. Because of code that was used for generation, for training of the model. So, but don't trust the generated code. I hope you see what is on this meme. Yeah, and generative AI can generate not only text. Generated content can have different type. It can be text, it can be image, it can be video, it can be sound, even music. If, you, for example, you ask ChatGPT or Gemini to generate image of London, so you see they have different opinion how image of London should be generated. So ChatGPT generated kind of cartoon, I would say in anime style or something like this, and Gemini generated photo of London, yeah. Almost photo, yeah. And the last addition to generative AI, the next generation of generative AI is multimodal generative AI, when you can combine different types of content in your context request. For example, when I was walking around, I did a photo of, probably you know what is this, but let's imagine that I didn't, and I asked, oh, where am I? And Gemini answered me with details, what is this, where am I, and even provide link to the map. But yeah, you see that the content is multimodal. Where am I is text, image is image. So yeah, it was Gemini. This is slide from Google presentation when Google invited us to Gemini era. Gemini is not just a model; it's a kind of ecosystem, kind of next chapter of generative AI innovation, because there are a lot of different models, and basically it's kind of approach how to train model, which approach to use to generate and so on. And models themselves can be different with different size, different number of versions. For example, Gemini 1.0 had 3 different options: Ultra, Pro, and Nano. And size of model is completely different. For example, Nano, you're even able to launch on your mobile device without internet connection. And the last version of Gemini, Gemini 1.5 Pro, is really nice in case of size of, not in case, when you're talking about size of context window. So you can provide up to 2 million tokens to Gemini 1.5 Pro. There is a nice example. So the video, then sketch and question. What is the time code when this happens in the video? And Gemini answers. So this happens at the 15 minutes, 32 seconds time code. So Gemini understands. So checked all video, sketch, and text. And Gemini 1.5 has 2 different sizes, Pro and Flash. Flash is smaller and faster. Pro is bigger, but slower. Okay, but there are 3 concerns about all this stuff I mentioned before. First, you need always internet connection. Second, you need money, because it's not for free. Of course, Gemini has a free tier, and ChatGPT also has, but if you would like to use models as a developer, so there is no free options. And the last concern is privacy. So you need to provide your data to owners of this model. So, and sometimes you can't, because data can be sensitive, for example. Here, here we are again in the beginning of the talk. On device, fine-tune Gemma in your mobile or web application. Yeah, I just changed it Flutter to mobile or web, or forgot to change it to Flutter back. I don't exactly remember. Potentially unfamiliar words. Gemma. Who heard about Gemma before? Yeah, not such big amount of hands at the beginning. Who knows what does it mean on-device machine learning? Yeah, much more. And who knows what does it mean fine-tuning? Yeah. Okay. Now we will discuss all these three potentially unfamiliar words, like one chapter per one word. First, Gemma story. What Gemma is. Gemma open models. It's a family of lightweight state-of-art open models built by Google using the same approach as Gemini, but it's open models. What does it mean? It's kind of open source in AI world. Because model is not a code, it's a model. But in case of model is open, you can do with this model whatever you want. You can train it with your own data, you can download it, you can store it on your on-premise server, and so on. Play around as you wish. With Gemini or ChatGPT, you can't do this because they are not open. Key Gemma features is responsible by design and matched performance at size, extensibility as optimization, and community-driven innovation. So responsible by design, it means that when Gemma was created, the approach that was using for it, so the same as Gemini, to make Gemma responsible, so be safe and not generate like bad content, harassment words, and so on. So unmatched performance at size. So Gemma is not big. Gemma now one has two options: 2 billion parameters and 7 billion parameters, and size of models themselves is not big, but performance sometimes even better than much bigger models. Extensibility and optimization. So Gemma has a lot of different options that optimized for working on different type of processor unit. For TPU, GPU, CPU, and depends on which device would you like to use for running Gemma. You can take optimized for this CPU model, and it will work the best way there. And community-driven innovation. So Gemma is open and shared with community, and already tons of different community-tuned models you can find in internet and use created by community. And community bigger and bigger is every day. Where can he get Gemma and you as well? So there are three different official sources: Kaggle, Hugging Face, and Vertex AI. Anybody heard about these resources before? So Vertex AI, it's service on Google Cloud. Hugging Face is also a resource for storing and using and working kind of tool for working with AI in network. And Kaggle is also the similar thing, the place where you can download, upload, and find any type of models. So if you want to try Gemma, probably the simplest way is used to be simplest way. Now there is one more simpler way I will tell about later. But you can go to Vertex AI if you have Google Cloud account. Just go to Model Garden, choose Gemma, open it, and you need to enable Vertex AI API for your Google Cloud account, and then you will have this kind of interface. You choose the endpoint where you open Gemma, and for free you can try what Gemma will answer you inside your Google Cloud Console. But if you want to try it on your own device, you can go to Kaggle and download it to your device. But you need only choose which Gemma would you like to download, because as I mentioned, there are two options: 2 billion and 7 billion parameters. So 7 billion is more powerful, but more big. As I remember, 7 billion parameters size with info synchronization is at 5 gigabytes, about 5 gigabytes, and 2 billion is about 1.3 gigabytes. And here we came to the second chapter on device Gemma, because we downloaded Gemma and now we can try to play with it on your own devices. But before on-device Gemma, let's talk about on-device machine learning. I think you already met on-device machine learning, even if you didn't do something for machine learning on device in your application. But for example, you can see it in Google Photos, like unblur photo, or in Instagram masks. So the machine learning happens on your device without connection to somewhere to cloud. Everything happens on device. And there is a specific kind of framework that created for launching and deploying machine learning on device, TensorFlow Lite. Who already tried to work with TensorFlow Lite? Do you know that there is no more TensorFlow Lite? Yeah. TensorFlow Lite changed the name, and now it's Lite RT. It's September, 4th September. Now it's a new name. And Lite RT is not just something for running TensorFlow models on device. Lite RT supports TensorFlow models, PyTorch, and even JAX, and just transform them and prepare for launching on mobile devices. But I won't talk about Lite RT today because there is one more framework on top of Lite RT. It's named MediaPipe, also created by Google. It's an on-device framework that allows you to create pipelines of machine learning models on your devices. It has 3 different SDKs, Android, iOS, and web, JavaScript. And how it works in comparison with Lite RT. So Lite RT allows you to do like model inference. You can deploy it, deploy the model, create input, do model inference, and get output. MediaPipe allows you to use more than one model and create pipeline of models. But today we won't talk about pipelines because we are talking about generative AI. So initially, MediaPipe was created to work with something like you can see on these photos, to analyze video, gestures analysis, face recognition. But now MediaPipe supports LLM inference. And for us, the most interesting, particularly with Gemma. What we can do with Gemma on device? We can do text generation. Gemma is text-to-text model. So it's not multimodal model. It's just text-to-text. We can generate text, we can rewrite text, we can do summarizing, classification, complement chatting. But yeah, the most important thing, without cloud bills, without privacy concerns, and without connectivity. Everything happens on device. You just need to go to Kaggle, find Gemma. There are tons of different options of Gemma, but for deploying it to mobile device, you need to choose Lite RT, and even formerly TensorFlow Lite. Then choose the option that you like to use. So there is a different version of Gemma, Gemma 1.0, Gemma 1.1, and 2 billion parameters, 7 billion parameters for GPU, for CPU, and different size with segmentation int 4, int 8. And download it. When you download it, you have this bin file on your laptop. not on your mobile phone. So you need to upload it to your mobile phone to use it on mobile phone. In case of Android, if you're experienced with Android development, you know about ADB tool. You can just use ADB and upload the model to your mobile device, and then then work with it using media pipe. So media pipe has only few parameters to configure Gemma on your device. The model path. Yeah, I have this thing. Model path. Where did you upload the model to mobile device? Maximum amount of tokens for generation. Yeah, because depending on for which purposes you would like to use the model. For example, for chat, you don't expect that answer will be, I don't know, 1,000 of words. You need to limit this size of answer. There's only one way to limit it, maximum amount of tokens. And top K, temperature and random seed, a parameter that affects creativity of the model. So probably you know what. If talk about it very highlight, temperature is a temperature of creativity of model. So if temperature is 0, model will take the next word in sequence with highest probability always, and the result will be always the same in case of Gemma. If your temperature is higher, so model generates result with more random. So don't take every time the next word with highest probability, and result will be different. And so again, in case of Android, so we just initiate the model and then can call two methods: generate response and generate response async. So they actually do the same, but the first give you result as a one string. The second will give you a stream that you can listen and take words, not words, tokens one by one. For iOS, it's the same. Just language is different, not Kotlin, but Swift. And where we are at Flutter meetup, yeah? What about Flutter? So when I started to work with Gemma, so it was my first question, and I start to look for plugins. So someone already implemented it. So MediaPipe plugin was a little bit outdated and didn't work, but I found Gemma 0.0. But then I opened repository, found only this. So I realized that probably this plugin is not ready yet. So yeah, I created my own. So yeah, version already a little bit outdated. I forgot to change it. Now it's 0.4.2. But yeah, well, almost there. And so actually everything on top of MediaPipe. So it has the same. You can initiate your model, and you can get response and get response async. And also there is a example app. Yeah, that you can just launch and it will work. So everything happens on device in case of Android, or in your browser in case of web. So hello, my friend, how are you doing? And there, hello, Gemma, my name is Sasha, and Gemma, I'm renting you today to ask you a question, tell me a story, and so on. But it's not everything that's possible to do. If you take instruction-tuned model that already fine-tuned for chatting purposes, you can use these two methods that I implemented: get chat response and get chat response async. And here you can, as a parameter, provide not just prompt with request. You can send the total list of messages in your chat, and Gemma will understand the full context of your chat. But you should be care with it and not to provide very long context, because Gemma is not ChatGPT, not Gemini. So, and context window is only for K tokens. So for these purposes, I have an optional parameter chat context length. How many messages in your sequence take to context? Because to understand what happens in chat, you don't need to provide 100 messages. You can provide, for example, last 10. And so model will understand what you're talking about. So, for example, hello. Yeah, I just prepared this screen, this slide 10 minutes ago before my talk. So, hello, my name is Sasha. What is your name? And I'm unable to provide personally identifiable information or sensitive data, as it will be a violation of privacy laws and security protocols. Okay, have you ever been in London? And I'm unable to access external information or personal data, and I'm not capable of providing information regarding location, personal data. But, see what will be next. But maybe you can, you could recommend a few places to visit. And here is no one word London or something. But model understands that I'm talking about London because I provided the full list of messages. And what Gemma recommend? I would be happy to provide you with some recommendation for popular place to visit in London, might select attractions, other interesting places, hidden gems, additional tips, and tons of recommendations. Yeah, but important. These methods only work with instruction-tuned models. But don't worry about it. If you take models from Kaggle, all models provided with Kaggle instruction-tuned. These two symbols, ET means instruction-tuned. And yeah, just one remark about file size. First, what I tried to do in my example, to take model from assets. Load assets impossible to use for these purposes because load assets takes everything to memory. And then you only when everything will be loaded to memory, you will be able to save it. So 1 gigabyte is too much for memory, for example, for Android. And you will get exception. So you can't use load assets for models. So I created my own plugin large file handler. It works with streams without interaction with memory. And I created a few methods for them. So load model from assets and load model from network, yeah, cloud or somewhere. Because it's not a case to ask your user, please upload model using ADB to your device before using my application. So I see this working with this. Yeah, and of course you can't use in production model from assets because try to imagine which size of your IPK will be and how you will upload it to store. So the best approach here is download application from store without any models, and first what user will see it's question. So for working with on-device AI, you will need to download the model. Are you agree or not? So and then using load assets, load network model, download it to device, and load network model with progress is the result of the stream just to show this loading progress and show to user how many percent already downloaded. Okay, next, fine-tune Gemma. Let's talk about fine-tuning. And the first question, what is it? I took an answer from Wikipedia. but it's very long and boring. Yeah? But let's try. Fine-tuning is the process of adapting a pre-trained machine learning model, such a deep learning model. Okay, it's long and boring. So fine-tuning, and when you take your own data set that you would like to add to your model and teach your model to understand additional context and provide you answers related to your data set. And you can fine-tune model and to additionally train it with your own data. I don't know, for example, you have sensitive data. You are owner of hospital and would like to have a model that will give you answers about your people who is in your hospital. You can fine-tune your own model with this data, and then model will understand who is there and answer you. How it looks like? We have base. One second. We have base model that already pre-trained by Google in case of Gemma. Yeah, it's in case of Gemma. Let's add Gemma here. And you have fine-tuning data, your own data set. Then you fine-tune your large language model, and you have fine-tuned model. And then prompt that you provide to this model, like processed by fine-tuned model, and you will get output with your own data. Where you can fine-tune model? So you have two options: the simplest and the hardest. Keras is a high-level API that allows you to do everything very simple way. And JAX is a tool for experts. If you are really expert in machine learning, you can use JAX. To be honest, I never tried JAX, but I know that there is such options. That's why I added it here. I'm using Keras always. Yeah, Keras is a kind of tool that allows you to, very simple way, work with models, fine-tune them, and like do all experiments and so on. And one more slide. LoRa is an approach that you can use in Keras to fine-tune model. It's low rank adaptation. It's a fine-tuning technique that allows you to fine-tune model without using tons of resources and very fast. How it works? It's a freeze all main weights of a base model and train only additional weights. So there is a specific image I generated. So it's a base model with the freezed weights, and additional weights are generated by LoRa. Using LoRa method. Where you can try to do it, there is a specific tool created by Google, Google Colab. In Google Colab, you can connect Keras. You can download model to Colab, and using Keras, do everything you wish, including fine-tune. And in Colab, you can describe all steps and prepare steps. So it's you can, for example, open this Kaggle Keras Gemma IO example, and without doing anything, just press the run, and in the result you will have fine-tuned the Gemma, but with data that already prepared in this example. And then you can, for example, replace data that prepares that with your own data and check how it works and so on. So really, really useful tool. And actually there are tons of different examples. Named Gemma Cookbook. There is a link to the Gemma Cookbook, and a lot of examples already prepared in Colab. You can open and try all of them. For inference, for prompting, even with RAG. Does anybody knows what RAG is? Retrieval Augmented Generation. Yeah, well, when you use augmented resources for your model. And the last but not least thing about media pipe, there is one more interesting parameter, set LoRa path, that allows you not to use full fine-tuned model. So if there is a like basic approach, you take base model, prepare your dataset, fine-tune base model in Keras, and then upload fine-tuned model to device. So it's what I described before. And when we have this parameter of media pipe, we can a little bit update the process. Take base model, upload base model to device, base model, not fine-tuned. Then prepare your dataset, fine-tune base model in Keras, and upload LoRa weights to device. Not the full model, but only this small additional weights that prepared during fine-tuning in Keras. So this gives us opportunity to, for example, retrain model. When you get new data, you can fine-tune again, and without uploading big file to device every time, you can upload only small additional weights. For example, you are collecting data with device, and every day you have new data set, and you can theoretically using this new data set, prepare new weights, upload new weights in small file, not exactly small, depends on size of your data set, of course. Bigger data set, bigger additional file. And yeah, here will be a link to collab that will describe all steps how to prepare such data set, but I didn't have enough time to prepare it today, but it will be ready soon. And if you're interested, just ping me and I will send you a link. I think next week it will be ready. Does media pipe support only Gemma? Nope. Media pipe works with 4 different AI models: Gemma 2B, FIB, Falcon, and Stable. But to be honest, I tried only Gemma. But it's a framework not only for media, only for Gemma. So, and it means that you can use Flutter Gemma plugin for all of them. And for the last chapter, just a little bit more about Gemma. Because as I mentioned, Gemma is an open model, and the community and Google itself working on different options of Gemma. For example, there is already code Gemma that trained on a huge amount of different code, and you can use it for code generation. There is recurrent Gemma that use a little bit different approach for training and much more performant and throughput, and less memory to use. Palette Gemma, it's a not text-to-text model. You can use text and images here. But one not really good for us moment here, that all of them are bigger, and media pipe doesn't support work with, for example, with Palette Gemma. Yet, I'm sure yet. Because size of Palette Gemma is not very big, but media pipe is not supported. We'll see. Maybe soon we will be able to work with images on device too, using Palette Gemma. And Gemma 2. Recently, Google released Gemma 2. 9 billions and 27 billions parameters, much more powerful and really nice answers. So there is details about this model, and so there is different architecture, and model is really much more nice than Gemma 1, but yeah, it's too big. It used to be too big. The last update, Gemma 2 with size 2 billions. Theoretically, you can use Gemma 2 on device with 2 billion parameters, because size of Gemma 2 with 2 billion parameters, 2 with half gigabytes. But when I tried last time, it won't work with MediaPipe. Probably we need to wait in a new version of MediaPipe to work with it, and new version of Flutter Gemma. But now it's not ready yet. So you can go to Kaggle, choose Gemma 2, also choose the type of model, download it, yeah, and try. And two last option of Gemma. It's both of them based on Gemma 2 27 billion. So 27 billion is 35 gigabytes, so it's too much for mobile devices. But it really works really nice and comparable with models that like with Wiki ChatGPT or Gemini, one can find Flash for some questions, and it's completely enough. But you can use Gemma 2, for example, in Cloud Run, and in your own cloud, or even on your premise server, without more concerns, privacy concerns still with internet, but you will need to pay only for your cloud or for electricity of your server. And Data Gemma is updated Gemma to 27 billions with rig and rag. So it's really a nice model that take additional context from internet. And the last one is Shield Gemma. It's trained to have the highest level of safety and avoid any type of hate speech, harassment, dangerous content, and sexually explicit information. Totally protected. Examples. I told that I will show the simplest option to play with Gemma is AI Studio. You can play there with Gemma 2. When I started to work and create workshops with AI, first I created was generative AI fireside chat without human interaction. There, Gemini, ChatGPT, and Gemma we are able to talk with each other without human. It's sometimes really fun answers, but theoretically we can use two different Gemma. For example, one Gemma on device and another Gemma in cloud. Two different fine-tuned Gemma, tuned with different data sets and so on. Yeah, the most just one demonstrated in Barcelona, and audience asked me, ask them who is better, Real Madrid or Barcelona. No. So you need to give the initial question to them. And ChatGPT answered, so Real Madrid by statistics, blah, 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 something. And Gemini answered, no, you can't go this way because Barcelona. And the audience told, so no more ChatGPT, we will use Gemini since that time. Always. Yeah, that's how it looks like. Because Flutter you can launch it everywhere, so you can just ask first question and then they just talk with each other. You can find in my GitHub and try to play with it too. But why I mentioned it, so probably the next update I will update it to Gemma fireside chat, where Gemma will talk with Gemma, with another Gemma, and take a look how it will be. Yeah, it was the last slide in my presentation. Sorry, probably it was long, but I hope it was not very boring. There is my contacts, so feel free to ping me in case of any questions when you try to do with it.
Any questions?